I'm not gonna say hi.
So unpolite.
This is
You really want to go to that topic?
Hi everyone, today we're filming another episode of Foreigners in Bulgaria. The series where foreigners are talking about their experience in any places in Bulgaria, especially Sofia obviously, and we have today Mathieu.
Hello guys, nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. If you don't know me, I'm Svetla and I'm the host, and this is my lovely guest. He's a very, very interesting person. And I'm so happy that he is here. You've been living here since...
It's been about 7 months now.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that's for you actually, it's a long time to sit in one country, is it?
It's one of the longest I've been somewhere, more or less, so yeah.
He's a real traveler, okay? Not like someone that goes to Bali for 1 week and then goes back to his country.
No, I mean he goes just from one country to another, and you're gonna see like.
But can you actually tell to the audience where do you come from?
Okay, audience, so I'm originally from France, with origins from Italy.
I've seen you a lot of times to speak more in English, even though you, let's say, see that the other person is speaking in French, just a francophone, but you still continue to go in English, and it was so interesting to see. Usually French people prefer just to speak French, so how do you explain this?
I mean, being abroad for a while, so I kind of like got used to express and talk in English. So I mean, French I'll keep maybe for like the drama things or romantic stuff, things like this, but language of love.
It's just that I think also because you're very an international person, you've been to a lot of countries, so this is the language you connect to.
Exactly, and I feel like English is the language that everyone will speak, so I think it's kind of unfair if I'm living abroad to speak in another language that is not something that I have in common with people, because then you're kind of like closing yourself instead of including yourself. So yeah.
Great. Can you tell us how did you meet with Bulgaria?
Very first time about a bit over 10 years ago. And oh god.
Wow.
Yeah, I had back then a camper van, really old camper van. It was from 1983, I think. We named it ID. It was terrible, like it looked really bad, but it took us all the way from France to Bulgaria. Actually, that was the furthest where we've been. I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, around, and that was kind of like my first insight of Bulgaria. Yeah. And I really liked it, so I always told myself I would come back. And that was about 5 years ago now that I found this volunteering in a dog shelter in the north of Bulgaria, close to Vratsa.
Wow.
And so this British woman opened the shelter. We got in touch, and I decided to go there to help her. Yes, it was love at first sight over there with the dogs. Had a really good connection. She's also a really kind and nice-hearted person.
My plan was, when I came here, was I was going to help any dogs that I found injured, that no one would bother to take to the vets, any starving dogs or neglected dogs. And I found lots of them quite often.
So it was really nice. So I went there the first time, stayed about 2 weeks or so, and took the opportunity to then travel a bit more around to discover as well the country. And since then I went again with another friend, took another road trip, and it started being kind of a love story with Bulgaria. Actually, one of the first things that I loved about Bulgaria was when I went close to Vratsa, there is this fortress, Belogradchik. Really amazing. If you guys haven't been there, definitely a good place. And close to there was this cave. So we decided to go there. It was not really advertised or anything. And we went in there, and it was just huge, like amazing cave, like beautiful. And inside you had some prehistorical paintings. And basically in France, the same thing. It would be like, closed and sealed and everything. There was just like a little cord, a little string, and that was it, And I was like, my God, like you guys have like a lot of things, and it's not really advertised or anything. It's still very untouched. So this is really what got me about Bulgaria.
Okay, wow. Let's just talk about more the activities you can do in Bulgaria, and especially you're based in Sofia, right? As we see.
The most amazing thing for me that I only found in one other capital I've been living in is the closeness.
La proximité.
Proximity.
Proximity, actually. Proximity, what is that?
Proximity, yeah. So, like the closest between people.
Yeah, no, to the mountain, not the people.
Ah!
Not the people.
Not the people, like,
That's That's overrated. None of the nature.
1 hour later.
Proximity to nature and mountain. I mean, for real, like from here, we're like right downtown in the middle of Sofia. I can go even by cab or by public transport to Vitosha mountain, which is maybe an hour ride maximum by public transport.
Yeah.
So it would cost me like less than €1, and I can be like on a mountain, and the peak of Vitosha would be above 2000. So can go already on the peak just in one day and be in the nature. And the only other place I've had that was in Iceland, actually, in Reykjavik. So I mean, if you're in Paris, in Berlin, or all the other places I've lived, it takes ages to get out in the proper nature. And you know, you always, I mean, I always kind of miss that. And I like also this freedom that, you know, you can just take your backpack, your camping gear, and you know, there's not so much restriction. Like in France, if you want to go camp somewhere, it would be like not there, you have to be this and that. When here, it's still pretty relaxed, I would say.
Definitely, with a lot of things, so you're relaxed.
Yeah, which I know as a local is not that good, but as a foreigner, it kind of, you know, it's kind of like if you're 6 years old and you've been told to never touch this and do that, and then you go to your grandparents and it's like freedom, you can do whatever you want. So this is like Bulgaria is like the grandparents. You can just do whatever you want, and it is a nice feeling as a foreigner, I would say.
Yes, it is a nice feeling for locals as well, but yeah, it goes a bit more at some points, especially with the laws. A lot of people do not respect. Oh yeah, can you tell me more about the escape rooms?
Yes,
Yeah,
Sofia is definitely on my top 3 rankings for the cities to do escape rooms. So for people interested in that, Sofia is definitely the destination for a couple of reasons actually. First off, let's face it, the price. Usually the average price in Europe, I would say, is about 30-40 euros per person. Here it's pretty much the same, but in leva, meaning that it's half price. So for like 20 euros max, you can get to an escape room. And a lot of time in France or in the countries where I've been doing them, it's really about luck, or they put some effort here and there, but compared to here, I mean, literally all the rooms I have been to here, they're homemade, so the guy running the room has made it or them, and they're just out of this world. I mean, they're really like, they put a lot of effort. We're talking like waterfalls inside the ground shaking, and I mean, we've done one together. It was like a, you know, like door closing, and really they put so much effort in it, and you really get into it a lot. And third is that the availability. It seems like people are not crazy into it at the moment here. So I could decide like now, okay, let's do an escape room tonight, and you'll probably find space in most of them. So it's quite nice.
I think also it's not yet popular. People don't don't know about it. Like I've never been my first time in an escape room was with him actually. It was great. I loved it so much. You haven't tried yet like a horror?
No,
like
definitely not doing that.
You're not, because
it's not even a horror room, it's a horror house. So the concept is not even to escape the room, is to stay alive. I mean, that's how they sell the thing. Check the trailer, Horror House, Sofia. You'll see by yourself. It's got some scary thing.
Forgot also to ask you about the club culture here, especially about the techno one. Can you say anything about it?
I came here not really expecting much out of it, really. But I found out that there's actually a huge techno scene here. It's crazy. I mean, we're talking really Berlin style. I mean, there are dedicated clubs and dedicated weekends, and there's teams and labels like really organizing things, and it's very active. So I'm pretty impressed. I really didn't expect it here, and we're talking like good sound, good DJs coming as well here. So yeah, top.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't expect this as well. What do you think about Bulgarian people?
You know, again, you're not necessarily like the Americans always smiling and such, so you're a bit more, you know, harder to grasp, but once you do, like, you guys are really nice, and again, I'm amazed by how many people speak English. I mean, when I was living in Germany, for example, you would go to like small shop and stuff, like I had to know Germans because otherwise if you go like to the tobacco shop or the local butcher, obviously they won't speak in English. When here, there's the local market behind my place, and I mean, obviously we're not gonna talk about politics or have great conversation, but I mean, they do understand bits of English so we can understand each other. And I mean, I'm trying to like get some Bulgarian word, but like between my broken Bulgarian and their broken English, it kind of like works, and everyone is really friendly. And you know, I've never had this feeling that I'm like, oh, this damn foreigner coming here and not learning the language. They're really always trying and making you feel good, and even in the smaller cities.
Really? Wow.
I mean, literally, I've never had a bad experience. The only thing that I find a bit tendentious about Bulgaria, I would say, would be the trash problem, maybe. I mean, when you go to like mountains and you have this like really cool river, and you could almost hear animals, you know, in the background. It's like perfect, and then you see like trash and everywhere, like, you know, plastic bottles and such. This is kind of a bit not so great, but again, then, you know, it's just, I don't know what's the politic here for that or how it works, but yeah, that's a bit sad to see.
Yeah, please leave your trash in the bins. I've seen people being in a mountain, smoke a cigarette and leave it. That is, in Bulgarian there is a word bohulstvo. It means against God. So for me it's really against, because nature for me is somehow God. Please do not do that. And not just in nature, but also in the city, it's the same thing. Someone has done these streets and we want to be in a nice clean place, right? So please. Do you have any message for Bulgarians and the foreigners that haven't been to Bulgaria yet?
Definitely worth it. I know some people in France and other countries who kind of like look low on Bulgaria, being like, you know, this cliche of Eastern Europe and blah blah blah. But I would say like really, it's just, I mean, the difference is so little. I mean, it's just like any country in Europe, really. It's nice, it's like modern, you have everything you need. So, you know, just jump the step, guys. Come see that life is beautiful here, especially now in this COVID time. A lot of freedom for those looking for freedom. Definitely the place to be. A lot of nature, a lot of nice people. Really hard to say anything bad to not come here, so get over here.
Yay! And to Bulgarians?
I would say just keep on being so nice and being friendly with us foreigners. That will only make us want to come more. And maybe a bit less poker face and things like this.
Yes, you're right. Mathieu, thank you so much for being here.
For having me.
Of course.
Stay tuned for the next episode. I'm getting a bit awkward right now, but
See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.